some people build something that cannot be argued with. Not a course, not an audience, not influence. A real company with real revenue, real payroll, real exit. 8 figures, private buyer, walk away money. When someone like that starts speaking, a specific kind of person listens. Not because they want tactics, because they are not looking for steps. They are looking for counter, the shape of someone who made decisions at a level they are still reaching for. This is a story about someone who had that, and then, without a single bad quarter or a failed launch, lost the one thing that made him matter to the people who could actually pay for what he knew. Now let me describe him without describing him. He started a company in a space that wasn't sexy. E-learning, corporate training, the kind of business that grows slowly, then suddenly, then exists. He started a company 5 years from 0 to 8 figures. Not funded, not hyped, just built. When he sold, he walked away with money enough to never work again. Then he started a YouTube channel. Not because he needed money, because he wanted to document what he had noticed. The patterns, the near misses, the decisions that looked small at the time and turned out to be everything. The first videos were long, raw, unedited. Just him talking to a camera in what looked like a home office. Audio slightly off, framing slightly loose. The kind of content that feels like you are eavesdropping on a person thinking out loud. And a specific kind of person found it. Not people searching for how to make money online. People who already had something, a business, a team, a trajectory. They found him because he sounded like someone who had been where they were trying to go. Here's what people heard. Not, here's what you should do, but here's what I noticed when I almost blew it. Not, follow these steps, but here's where the steps stopped working and I had to think. Not, I have the answers, but I still remember the questions that kept me up. That's the difference between a witness and a teacher. A teacher says, I know the way, follow me. A witness says, I went somewhere, here's what it looked like, make of it what you will. The first attracts people who want to be told. The second attracts people who want to see. He started as a witness. That's why the right people found him. But then something shifted. It didn't happen in a meeting. There was no announcement, no pivot document, just a slow rational series of responses to what the platform was telling him. The platform says shorter videos perform better. So videos got shorter. The platform said thumbnails with faces and promises get more clicks. So thumbnails got louder. The platform said people search for how to more than they searched for what I noticed. So titles shifted. How I built an 8-figure company became how to build an 8-figure company. Where I almost lost everything became the mistake that's killing your cells. The decision that mattered most became do this one thing to scale faster. Each change was rational. Each change probably improved a metric. Each change moved him 1 degree away from witness and 1 degree toward teacher. Let me show you what this looked like in practice. Early video, 12 months ago. Title, The Year I Almost Went Under. Length, 52 minutes. Thumbnail, just him sitting, thinking. Description, 2 sentences. No chapters, no timestamps. Content, he spent the first 15 minutes describing the quarter where revenue dropped 40% and he didn't tell anyone. Not his team, not his investors, just sat in it alone, trying to figure out if the business was broken or he was. He describes the physical sensation, the way his stomach felt at 3 a.m. The moment he almost fired himself. No lesson, no takeaway. No, here's what you should learn from this. Just this happened. This is what it felt like. This is what I did next. Comments on that video. I'm in the quarter right now. Thank you for making me feel less alone. The way you described the 3 a.m. feeling, I thought that was just me. I have watched this 4 times. Each time I noticed something different. Now, can you notice the difference between comments? Recent videos. 3 weeks ago, title, How to Scale from $12,000 a month to $88,000 a month in 90 minutes. Length, 90 minutes exactly. Thumbnail, him pointing, text overlay, the exact system. Description, bullet points, timestamps, chapters, links. Now what's in the content? He walks through a funnel, step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's the ad span, here's the conversion rate, here's the offer structure, here's the email sequence, here's the upsell, here's the downsell, here's the retention metric. All useful, all accurate, all based on his actual experience. Comments on that video. Great content. Where's the next one? Can you do on X? Thank you for sharing. Very helpful. Just like this. Notice the difference. Early comments referenced themselves. I'm in that quarter. That feeling. I thought it was just me. Like it's talking to the right audience at the right time. Recent comments reference the content. Great video. More please. Thanks for sharing. Like they are just watching it for entertainment or they are freebie seekers. Not the right audience. The first group was saying, you describe me. The second group is saying, you made a thing. He moved from describing people to making things for people. And he probably didn't notice. Now, here's what happened in the dashboard during this shift. Views went up, slowly at first, then faster. The how-to videos outperformed the what I noticed videos by 3x in the first 48 hours. Subscribers count accelerated. New people arrived every day. The channel looked healthier than ever. Engagement metrics stayed strong. Likes, comments, shares, all trending positive. By every metric YouTube provides, he was winning. But metrics don't measure gravity. They measure velocity. They don't measure whether the people watching are the people who would pay to be in a room with you. That's not in the dashboard. That's in the slow, quiet decline of something that cannot be charted. The proportion of viewers who are serious operators versus serious consumers. Now what happened to those serious operators? Let me break down. The serious operators didn't unsubscribe his channel. They didn't complain. They didn't comment, this isn't for me anymore. They just watched less. Not out of spite, out of misalignment. The new content was for someone else, someone earlier in the journey, someone who needed to be told what to do. That person wasn't them. They still respected him, still referenced his early videos, still told people about him, but they stopped waiting for the next one, stopped scanning for his face in their feed, stopped feeling like he was speaking to them. And because they didn't leave noisily, no unsubscribe spike, no angry comments, he never noticed they were gone. The channel grew, the audience composition shifted, and the people who could actually pay for what he knew, not just watch it, quietly drifted into the background noise of the internet. This is the part that matters. Not what happened, but why it happened. He didn't drift because he got lazy. He didn't drift because he ran out of things to say. He drifted because he responded rationally to the incentives in front of him. And those incentives are designed to make you leave the people who need you the most. Think about what platform rewards. Curiosity clicks, the title that makes someone pause their scroll, the thumbnail that promises a shortcut, the first 30 seconds that hook a wandering attention span. What does it not reward? Slow recognition, quiet gravity, the kind of connection that builds over months, not minutes. The viewer who watches half, saves it, comes back next week, watches the other half, thinks about it for a month, then reaches out. That viewer doesn't show up in the 48-hour metric. They don't boost your velocity. They don't trigger the algorithm to recommend you to more people. They just stay quietly until one day they don't need to watch anymore because they have decided to work with you instead. The platform doesn't measure that. So the platform doesn't reward the behavior that creates it. Here's the trap he walked into. The how-to content performed better in a short term, so he made more of it. Each how-to video brought in new viewers who wanted more how-to videos, so he made even more. The algorithm learned. This channel gives people steps, so it showed him to people searching for steps. The people searching for steps, by definition, earlier in the journey. They need more hand-holding. They consume more content. They click on more thumbnails. They boost more metrics. So the algorithm showed him to even more of them. Reinforcement loop. Each cycle pushes him further from the original audience and further into the role of teacher instead of a witness. Now here's the cruelty. If he tries to go back to witness content, long, raw, unstructured, no promises, the new audience don't watch and won't watch. They came for steps. Without steps, they leave. The matrix drop. The algorithm punishes him. The whole thing looks like failure. And this is what exactly happening on his channel right now. If he stays in teacher mode, he becomes interchangeable. Another guru with formulas, competing against hundreds of thousands of others who also have steps, also have formulas, also have the exact system, the exact model. They also have that. He is trapped, not by bad ideas, not by bad decisions, by good decisions that compounded in the wrong direction. Let me name the decision that trapped him. He stopped asking one question. Early on, quietly, probably not even loud, he asked himself, if I just describe what I see, will anyone stay? The answer for a while was yes. A small group of people stayed. They stayed because he wasn't performing. He was just someone who had been there, letting them watch. Then the numbers told him, more people will stay if you give them steps. So he stopped asking the question. But the question didn't stop being true. It just stopped being asked. And without that question, he lost his compass. Not his moral compass, his orientation compass. The thing that told him which way was toward the people who needed him and which way was toward the people who would just consume his content. Here's what he doesn't know yet. The audience he lost, the serious operators, the ones who could pay, the one who would have become clients, not just viewers. They're still out there, still looking, still scanning for someone who sounds like they have been where they are trying to go. But they are not scanning the how-to space. They have given up on that. They assume everyone in that space is selling something. They are scanning the edges, the long videos with low views, the channels that haven't optimized yet, the voices that still sound like someone thinking, not someone teaching. They're looking for another witness. And if he wanted to, he could become that again. But it would mean accepting something uncomfortable. The videos that matter most will get fewer views. The content that reaches the right people will be ignored by the wrong ones. The growth that compounds will be invisible in the dashboard. You'd have to trade short-term matrix for long-term gravity. And after a year of watching the matrix go up, that trade feels like losing. But it's not losing. It's just choosing which game to play. Let me say something that might sound like a contradiction. Nothing he did was wrong. He didn't betray his audience. He didn't sell out. He didn't get greedy. He responded rationally to the environment he was in. The environment is the problem, not him. The environment rewards teaching over witnessing, utility over gravity, volume over direction. The environment is designed to make you forget who you are actually there for. And most people forget, not because they are weak, because the forgetting is gradual. Each step so small it doesn't feel like a choice until one day you look back and realize you have been walking away from your own center for 2 years without a single conversation about it. That's the trap, not the big pivot. The 1,000 small steps that each made perfect sense at the time. So now what's the way out? Not to stop making how-to content, not to burn it down, not to announce a rebrand, just to ask the question again. If I stopped promising outcomes and just described what I see, would the right people still lean in? Then make one video that answers it, not as a test, as a return. One long, raw, unhelpful video where you just describe something you noticed. No steps, no systems, no here's what you should do. Just here's what I saw, here's what it made me think, here's the question it left me with. Don't promote, don't optimize, don't check matrix for 30 days. Just put it out and see who finds it. The ones who need it will find it. They always do. They're searching for something that feels like thinking instead of teaching. They will know it when they see it. And if enough of them find it, you might remember why you started in the first place. Not to help, to witness, not to teach, to describe, not to grow, to matter to the ones who notice. Not to sell tactics, but to sell your judgment, your decision making, your thinking level. There's a reason I described him without naming him. Not because I'm protecting him, because I'm describing you. If you have felt the drift, the slow shift from witness to teacher, from describing to promising, from here's what I noticed to here's what you should do, you already know who this is about. It's about every channel that started with gravity and traded it for velocity. It's about every creator who woke up one day and realized they were making content for people they don't respect because those people click more. It's about you. If you have felt your own voice getting louder and thinner at the same time, nothing to do right now. No link, no offer, no book a call. Just notice what you noticed. The one who feel this don't need to be told what to do next. They already know. They just needed someone to name it.